I had to learn to be a different climber on so many different levels before I did that thing. And part of it was like, probably the biggest part of it was abandoning everything, thought of failure, thought of success, and really just accepting a mindset where, like, I want to do this, period. There is nothing else. I want to do this line. And so, yeah, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. We're going to do this until it works.
Good stuff, dude.
Nice.
Um,
Good. Hopefully, I didn't ramble too much.
no, no, you're great, dude. Well, I got you. I just gotta ask you for a couple of recs on font, on bleu. Or
Oh, God.
I can't say it because when I listened to you do your stuff with Chris Hampton, I was just like, oh, I can't even call it font. I'm gonna be outed as a
You can because you're American.
okay,
You can
okay.
call it font.
Uh,
We call it font. Yeah.
yeah, any like if you're just like, dude, this one mod or I don't know. Of
Oh.
course, I'm gonna try Karma. Actually, to be honest, I'm gonna go check out Big Island too. I I said this on the pod. I actually am more of a powerful. I like. I'm a. I like power. I like
Uh-huh.
squeezing. I Big Island. Maybe because it was one of those early V15s, just always held for me some kind of mystique. I'll at least fondle it, try it a
Yeah,
few times.
yeah, definitely. It'll hook you because, like, you'll get on it and you'll do moves. You'll be
Mm,
like, "Oh fuck,
mm,
this
mm.
thing, I might be able to do this." Yeah.
I don't like
It's hard to
it.
link them
Yeah.
all together, it turns out, but yeah, it's a good one. I am so uh, personally, intimately familiar with font that it's like you just asked an AI for a playlist for a sunny Tuesday or something where you got your homework done. Um, like I get specific, geez, there's so many, there's so many that are like, you can't, and this one, don't forget.
So no font must do. I understand. I won't give you shit
No,
about it. Yeah.
I can absolutely throw off like a million. Give me two grades, and
How about like V6 and V11 or something, and I don't care like,
nice.
V4 to V7, V9 to V12. You know what I mean?
How,
It's like,
let's see. How about B8? I'll start with that. Fluid magnetique, and that's a 7B plus, and it's right in the middle of Cuvier on the left. That's great. Spider Cochon, Spider Pig, is way out in the middle of nowhere. Can't even remember the name of the place. In the middle of nowhere, meaning it's a bit of a walk, um, but it's also not far from the highway that goes into town in Font. Crazy, like it's this hole, and you sit start and full arm like sloper to the bottom of this hole, but then you do all this really technical behind your head stemming drop knee stuff to navigate into and out of this hole. It's the weirdest thing. It's crazy. It's great. Um, and let's say six ish. La Baleine at Petit Bois, fabulous 7A plus. It's amazing. It's all time one of my favorites. Big Jim is probably two grades easier, but it gets a little blurry there. That's something I love about font grades is you can be like, oh, it's 6C plus, but that's like a 3 grade band, you know, and people will argue about the intricacies of whether or not it's true 6C plus. And I don't know if it's just because I didn't grow up with those grades, but I'm like, whatever, like it's around this hard, you
you know
know.
what I found? So I have climbed there, but it was a rainy few or a wet few days in November years ago, and I really only climbed on really easy stuff, and I don't even know what that was. I don't know. I just went out there and climbed, and it was wonderful. But something that blew my mind is that I know I was on a V0 to V2 because I don't even know what the grades were. So I'm not going to even attempt to use the font grades. And it was V1, but I really had to do the sequence correctly. I really
Yeah.
had to lean here. And yes, it was very easy, but I couldn't just be like, I'm just going to grab this juggy crimp and fly up to this jug and it's over. It was like, walk through here, take your time. And that blew me away. And I've set routes over of course, I've had gigs as route setters here and there. And I was like, how is this an intricate, difficult, easy climb? Like, I don't understand how it's made so perfectly for climbing.
It it's magic, and that is that's one of the things that I enjoy most about that spot is you can go and warm up and send your project, and then send your other project, and then spend the rest of the day like just doing random like nines and tens or something like that. Because if you are on and you're inside of your body and everything's connecting properly, like you can climb almost without effort. Hardest thing you've ever done, and it just feels like you just danced your way up it because you did everything particularly right, you know. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things about that place.
I'm hoping that I climb well there. I didn't have enough time to really find out, but I've always climbed well in that full body style of, I hate to make this cliche analogy of like I do well in the southeast, but like
Mm,
people went to the southeast and they're like, this is so weird. I'm like, no, like
this is
this is
good.
great.
this is this is what you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the really like thin rigs, like there was like God module where I had to
Mm,
pull on onto these little crimps and I couldn't even pull on. And I was like, damn it. No,
yeah.
I can't do this. But yeah, I still want to ask you, what about the harder grades, the 10 pluses up in there?
Let's see. One of my favorite tens in the world is Control Technique.
God, yeah.
Magic, love it. And that's one
I
that
hear it's
once you get it
hard as
down,
fuck. Yeah.
yeah, totally. It makes no sense, and then once you get it down, you can climb it effortlessly. You know,
Wow.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. Partage,
Mm,
incredible. One of the greatest, and that one kind of it sort of shut me down for a number of years, mostly because of its aspect. It's kind of hard to catch in good condition. And then yeah, finally when you do, and oh God, it's such a proud thing.
beautiful arete. Yeah. Oh,
Emotep is a good stern 8A. Um, my gosh. Um, oh, what's the one? Londinium. Oh my God.
huh. I don't know if I've seen
Londinium.
that one.
Oh, I think they grade it 8A. They may have finally given it the plus, but it's very hard. It's out in the middle of nowhere, gorge to Who, long walk, stunning arete. It's massive. It's huge, and it's very difficult. I think. I think if you're tall, it helps a little bit, but yeah, I spent a number of seasons out there with Nala, and that's when we would talk about like that's just kind of the yeah, Londinium is it's fucking 8B. It just is, and that's what it is. Um, yeah, gosh, those are excellent, excellent. Duel, of course.
I don't think I'm going to get up that in my short time there, but
I had to learn to be a different climber on so many different levels before I did that thing. And part of it was like, probably the biggest part of it was abandoning uh, everything, thought of failure, thought of success, and really just accepting a mindset where like, I want to do this, period. There is nothing else. I want to do this line. And so, yeah, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. We're going to do this until it works or whatever.
dude, that's that baggage I was talking about letting it go. And I would love to say that I am just, climbing out there and I don't care about the grade or the history and I'm willing to just be shut down. But, it's a lie, except for when I sometimes tap into it. It's one of the reasons why I like high balls is that when I'm scared for my life, I just because that thing I was talking about evolution where I scared myself, I did, but dude, I climbed that top part so beautifully. I want to say it's one of the most beautiful climbing I ever did, even though it just looks normal. But I know what it felt like, and I
Hmm.
climbed it like a V20.
Yeah, that you've done 15 times,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know. So
yeah.
I think I lost track of where I was going with the train. But when you were talking about that earlier, that was kind of the answer I wanted to give, but it was so particular to highballs. And I tell this to people all the time, like, whether it's a scary move that's 4 feet off the ground or it's, the delicate crux 25 whatever feet off the ground, throw it all away. Just doesn't matter. I I'm going to die. I am dead. I don't exist. I'm just going for it. And when that drops away and you feel it, you feel the foothold, you feel the body position or whatever. And like you climb at your best at that point and talk about, geez, I mean, talk about something to strive for, I guess. Or maybe, or maybe just to be fortunate enough to recognize it and appreciate it when it's happening. Because then, wow, that's having a good time whilst climbing, you know?
Those those moments are like it's you kind of have to be good enough to earn those moments too. You have to put yourself into these positions where the confluence of events might happen where you have those kind of transcendent moments. But something I do struggle with as I get older is like, I don't want to get hurt, man.
Yeah.
And I don't like, I don't have a reliable way of getting into that mental state without a touch of danger, you know?
Well, it's not a reliable thing, but you said it right there. Like you had to kind of earn that. You had to earn access to that mind space. I don't know if it's the 10,000 hours or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But you stacked up so many layers of yourself over the years to where you're able to experience it and then recognize it and then maybe think about it as part of as part of the stack. um, yeah, you earned it. You know.
Yeah, I like this idea of when you get into those situations and you really connect with your body, that you find out what you're made of. I say this all the time. It's just like this is one of the things, we don't get to go to war anymore, or whatever. I don't.
Yeah, right.
But there is an element of like, let's find out what I'm made of when
Right now.
yeah, right now. And I will say, I say sometimes you don't like what you're made of, and you go like, wow, I I talk tough, and now all of a sudden I was not tough. And you go,
Yeah.
okay. And then
Whoa.
you kind of want to go back and find out again, well, maybe I'm better this time.
Right. No, it's real. It's real. I think being truly having a balance of being able to lie to yourself and be honest with yourself, I think is really a good thing when it comes to like getting better at something. Like you can fake it till you make it for yourself. You could sit down, hunker down, and be a V7 climber and work the shit out of the V11, and it will do you some good.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like even more content, go to patreon.com/testpiece. And while you're at it, share this podcast with someone you know who would love it. And please leave us a review or rating at wherever you get your podcasts. We've also got tons of great content on YouTube and Instagram, so don't forget to like and subscribe there. Okay, see you next week.